Cancer. If you've been feeling emotionally restless, like something in your life just isn't fulfilling you anymore, this message is for you. Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to your May monthly tarot reading. If you're new here, welcome to Universal Wisdom Tarot. And if you're returning, thank you for your continued support. If you haven't already, take a quick second to click that subscribe button. It's free, and you'll never miss your spiritual guidance. This month is about choosing joy, choosing clarity, and reclaiming your power, because that's what finally leads to emotional freedom. Stick around, my friends, and we'll see what the universe wants you to know. Hey there, beautiful Cancer souls. Welcome to your general intuitive tarot reading for the month of May. Remember to take only what resonates. We already asked for blessings for the reading. So let's get the cards out. We'll connect to the energies. Okay, Cancer, your main messages. You have the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Ten of Cups, the Five of Swords. You actually have the Knight of Wands twice on the table, once as a main message, once as a clarifier. The bottom of the deck is the Four of Cups. That is the theme of your month, and that's where we're going to begin. When we get the Four of Cups as a theme, it's almost, sometimes it's a period of, or a time where we feel apathetic. A period of apathy is like a time where we feel emotionally stagnant. Okay, we're feeling kind of blah. We're feeling like, I'm not really into it. You know that movie, and she's just not into you, or he's just not into you. Okay, so you're just not into it, whatever that might mean for you. All right, you're feeling like you're it's when we're just not into something, the problem becomes that we don't always see everything that's already passing us by. Okay, so you could be overlooking some kind of new opportunity that's coming your way because maybe either you are just not feeling it, you're, dissatisfied, you're bored, maybe for some of you, or there is some kind of discontent going on with you. Now, sometimes the Four of Cups is we don't want to believe that there's something, some kind of opportunity there because we've been disappointed by the past. And when opportunities, we've waited for opportunities or something to come along and we just kind of don't believe it. It's like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Okay. So I feel like there's a need for you to reevaluate your current situation. You need to kind of move past the dissatisfaction of this month. And it's a time to open yourself to maybe some hidden gifts that are being offered to you, but either you don't want to see it or you don't want to believe it. It's kind of like, I want to say this is like a glass half empty mindset that you're in. And you're feeling that your current emotional cup, it just isn't full for you. It isn't full enough for you. anyway. Okay. It might not be full at all, but that's the other feeling you could be having. Okay. You start with the first week of the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the High Priestess. So the month begins with a powerful feeling here of wanting to make a turning point, okay, or a turning point. It's like you're saying now's the time, right? This is you saying Eight of Cups is wanting to walk away. You want to leave something behind. You want to walk towards something better. It is you saying some situation doesn't really make me happy anymore. Some situation really doesn't fulfill me. So you might be feeling compelled to detach yourself from people that are not good for you or don't make you happy anymore. You might be detaching yourself from habits. You might be detaching yourself from some kind of emotional cycles here, okay? Or just some environment that is draining your energy. Okay, that Eight of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Wands, so that says that you're looking for some fresh new movement. You're looking to go outside of your comfort zone. You're looking to try something you've never tried before. You're looking to maybe go somewhere physically, travel to somewhere you've never been before. You are looking to make some bold decisions, to be a little bit more impulsive in your actions. Okay, you might feel an urgent desire for change, for freedom, for excitement, and some kind of liberation, right? And that can just be emotional liberation, right? Doesn't have to be physical liberation, but emotionally, you might be looking to free yourself. So it's a time to express your feelings. Okay, it's a time to open up to somebody. If you have a partner, I'd say it's a good time to open up to your romantic partner if you have one. If you don't, I still feel you need to open yourself up to someone like a friend or whatever and express your feelings. I'd say if you have something to say, here's the moment to clear the air, regardless of who that person is, whether it's a business partner, a friend, best friend, somebody. You might need to clear the air. So this is the time to do it. The High Priestess, it sort of adds a layer of intuition. So the High Priestess helps you to know what to say and when to say it. Okay. It's about inner knowing and your subconscious guiding you. Okay. So you're not taking any reckless departures here, okay, with that Eight of Cups. I feel like it's more of a soul inner gut guided type of release that you're going through. Okay. I feel that you feel deep down, you already know what has to go or who has to go. Okay. So it's not like it's not something you don't know. You do know. It's the question is whether or not you take the actions in that direction. And this sort of aligns deeply or perfectly, if you will, with that Four of Cups because it's like you're no longer willing to remain stagnant anymore. You know you're stagnant. That's what's keeping you stagnant. This, right? And this is where you're saying this is why you're not into it. Okay. So now you get into the second week. You have that Knight of Wands again. There you have the Sun and you have the Eight of Cups. And you got the Eight of Cups twice, my friends. All right. So that notion, that idea of wanting to change, that notion or idea that the time is now to walk away is still very strong for you. So you have a good half month where you're feeling like, I need this change. I need to walk away. I need to do something. I'm not happy about this. This dissatisfaction is pulling on you. Okay. So I do feel this is where that energy intensifies. Okay. You are definitely more restless with this Knight of Wands. and you want to try that new thing. You want to go to that new place. You want to get out of your comfort zone. You're feeling a little stronger about it because you have the sun. Feeling a little better about it because you have the sun, so a little bit more confident. And it's saying you're more optimistic about it. You're feeling a little bit more joyful about it and feeling a lot more illuminated about what direction you should be going in. Okay. So you're seeing the situation far more clearly in the second week than maybe you were in the first week. Okay. And whatever you're leaving behind, it's directly tied to that liberation, that feeling of getting rid of that feeling of being dissatisfied, or that feeling of feeling ho hum, or that feeling of apathy. Okay. So this is the time to break through. This is the time to act. This is the time to act courageously. Okay? Because you want to choose your happiness. You want to choose your happiness. And the third week brings that happiness. You have the 10 of Cups, you have the 3 of Cups, you have the 6 of Swords. So this is now the happiness starts to come. The breaking free starts to bear some fruit here for you. Okay? The 10 of Cups is a happy, harmonious time. It's joy, right? It is always has, 10 of Cups always has some kind of a rainbow on the imagery of the cards, right? Because it is the time of saying joy, happiness, harmony. Okay? You have the 3 of Cups, which is great. That suggests you're going to celebrate about this happiness. You're going to have some kind of perhaps emotional reconnection or a connection, right? There are 3 people on this card. They're raising 3 cups and they're enjoying themselves. Okay. You might have a support team that you get out with and enjoy time with. Okay. You spend some time you building those social bonds with whoever. Okay. So you could be reconnecting with friends, with family, with loved ones, with your posse, your group of friends, your, community of people that have similar interests as you do. And you feel like your spirit is very uplifted here. Now, I feel like because of that, someone has a really highly active social calendar in the third week of the month, and you're scheduling nights out and you're enjoying yourself and you're preparing to have a blast, is what I'm feeling here. Okay. Now, you could find that, your inbox all of a sudden has all of these invitations in it. Okay. So, and some of those invitations are going to be so good, it's really going to be hard for you to say no in this week, I find. You may have said no before because you were apathetic about it and you knew, I don't really want to do that. I really don't want to go there. I don't want to spend the time with those people. But you need to get out. So you finally do it in this third week, okay? And then you finally break through that. So, the Six of Swords says there's some relief there. You're moving away from any turbulence of the first 2 weeks. You're moving more towards some, stability, towards some more mental stability. Things are moving in the right direction, okay? And the sailing, of course, is much smoother with this Six of Swords in the third week. Okay, I feel like your popularity is elevating in this third week. The end of the month, you have the Five of Swords, you have the King of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords. Now you're all in your head there, right? That's 3 swords, my friends. Okay, so you are definitely finding, or now the last week, if you have been doing some heavy getting out and parties and friends and invitations and constantly going out in the third week. Now it's time to find some balance, because now you need to find the balance between the social butterfly of this and the cocooning of this. Okay, so you go one extreme, you go the other, and now you need to find the balance between the two. Okay, so I feel like you're going to be able to pick and choose which events are worth your time. You might still want to keep going out, but you're being a bit more selective. You're using a little bit of discernment here to decide, you know what, I'm running out of steam and maybe I should be a little bit more choosy on, who I'm spending time with and where I'm going, because you just don't necessarily have all the energy to keep going as you were going. Okay. I feel like you were probably more ambitious in when you started to hit this third week, and then by the fourth week you said, oh, well, wow, I was doing nothing and now I'm going crazy. So you kind of realize that you're not as ambitious in that fourth week to get out there and do all that social butterflying that you were doing. If you are or were feeling overly ambitious, um obviously you're paying the price for it in the fourth week. Okay, so I just say, just think about the slowing down a little bit in that fourth week. um you're definitely going to be maintaining a more healthy boundary here with the Five of Swords, the King and Queen of Swords here. You're definitely setting some boundaries, some mental boundaries going on there. You could have a bit more mental tension, though. I'm also feeling, so I'm not, if somebody has some mental conflict or some tension about some difficult conversations that might be going on. uh, you need to clear the air. You have the King and Queen of Swords here, so it's saying clear communication is going to be helpful, and you might need to emotionally detach, okay, rather than not rather than, but really, that's going to allow you to come to some kind of resolution, but at least like a rational solution is what I'm feeling. Okay, so you're sort of your last week isn't so emotional as maybe the first 3 weeks are, right? The first 3 weeks you're feeling apathetic, first two, then week three you're feeling great and you're going completely the opposite way, and then in the fourth week you're saying, let me like tone this down a bit. I don't need to have so much emotional stuff going on. And you're choosing more intellectual clarity here. Okay. So you start the month sort of disconnected. You feel sort of empowered. And then you get clear minded and a little bit lighter at the end of the month. So I'd say it's sort of a powerful month for you for emotional release and some renewal, Cancer. All right, I am going to pull for you now some messages from your future higher self. Let's see what your future higher self wants to tell you. Messages for Cancer for the month of May. Okay. Okay. Your first card out says, don't take action where there's a feeling of resistance. Okay, so that's very appropriate to those couple of weeks where you're feeling like apathetic, right? Your second card says, try not to resist the changes that come your way. Don't delay the inevitable. Okay. And your third card says, you will be a great success, but you'll have to go through it to get there. There's lessons to be learned. All right. So 3 really nice, interesting messages from your future higher self, my friends. A good way to end your reading. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, it certainly helps the channel a lot, and I would truly appreciate your support. And I hope something resonates. I'll see you again soon. And until then, please know I'm wishing you divine light and love.